Alright, so now I've done my time. Sounds like I went to jail and not for a jog. This is the track where I jogged at. So I thought I could take this time, now that I'm just sitting here and thinking about stuff, which I do pretty often now since I have a lot of time for myself where I can think. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how all of this came together in one piece. So my objective was to leave Croatia, and after that, with this whole adventure, I learned a lot of things that I didn't realize that I needed to learn, and I wasn't expecting to. But a lot of decisions were made, and my mind was changed on a lot of things as well. So after leaving Croatia, which I was able to do thanks to a man called Boško, who helped me, whose objective was to find a good team for me to play on, and not only myself but my friend Sandra as well. And he was successful at doing that. He did find us a good team. But there are some things that don't work for me, and I'm not going to use this video to talk about, bad things to make someone look bad. This isn't a type of video blog where I want to slander others, but there's things that I cannot live with, and that is just what I hope maybe if anyone watches this and might find themselves in a position where they could be making similar decisions, then maybe this could help. But so I'm 21 years old. I had just finished college in Croatia, and like I said, my objective was to leave and play soccer professionally. And when I was doing that, when I was going on tryouts and leaving, the whole idea of it excited me. The idea of earning money playing soccer, and the idea of leaving, even though I had a damn good life already set up in Zagreb. For some reason, I wanted to do some of that on my own, I think, and I was not happy with the Croatian soccer league, and therefore didn't want to stay, because I had chosen to play soccer and specify in soccer first before I did something else, even though I have a degree. Now I have a degree, and I thought that doing that was going to make me happy because I would have been successful. However, after getting that done, I realized that the feeling of being successful was not that fulfilling. And I thought to myself afterwards that is probably because the target was too low, because I was able to succeed, and I didn't dream bigger than that. For a few years now, my dream has been to leave and to play soccer. And at some points that felt very far. But I guess at the end of the day, when the time came, it wasn't as far as I thought it was. And when I did it, I'm not sure. A lot of things changed. All of a sudden, instead of feeling fulfilled and like I was doing what I wanted to be doing and that I was making money doing something that I love, I felt demotivated. I felt like I didn't want to do this anymore. I felt like I had made a mistake. And not all of this is because, and I'm filming myself now, and it makes me feel like Lewis from Suits talking to his dictaphone, because I'm like literally not talking to anyone except this camera. I mean, vicariously I'm talking to an audience, but at this very moment there's nobody around. Anyways, what I was saying was, Sandra and I came together for this tryout for the Champions of Poland, and the team is great. The girls are all trained very hard and they're very talented, and the coach is very good. The coach is smart, and the assistant coach is also very, very talented, both soccer-wise in skill and also in mind and tactics. To me, she's very impressive. And as a person, she's very nice as well. And this city, Konin, there's something about it that that doesn't really fit me. I think that I might be a little bit too young to be this stuck. That's how I feel a lot of the time, stuck. Because of the fact that I signed a contract with this club, so they pay me to play, I cannot, go anywhere. It's not like this is my job. I'm obliged. I have an obligation to the club, and that's also something that I had never felt before, because technically this is my first real job, and maybe those are just the feelings that have come along with, oh, I'm actually working now, so what does this have an obligation, and I have to do stuff when someone tells me to. I can't just find a way around it. This was also my first encounter with making my own money. That's not, like petty change kind of on the side, but actually having, let's say, a paycheck. So then that feeling of how to rationalize and spend my own money, because I'm not using my parents' money anymore, also was something that I have to get used to, so that I do it in a smart way, so that I don't just kind of waste everything that I get, even though that would be very easy to do. And all of these things came along with this decision to stay in Poland, because at the time Sandra and I actually had a few options. We could have gone to other teams in other countries, but as I had mentioned before, the idea excited me of playing Champions League as well, because this team, being first in Poland, played Champions League at the time. Now we lost and we didn't pass to the round of 16. Played a very tough game against Glasgow, and it was a good run. It was a first experience for me, and when I had signed the contract, I was excited for that. However, along the way, I lost passion for that. I lost passion for honestly playing, and the biggest thing that I realized was just that the feeling of being in a certain place is really important. In order to function properly, you have to feel happy and not do the opposite, which is what I did, where I thought that accomplishing something and being successful was going to make me happy, instead of paying attention to what I was putting myself into and where I was going to be, because that in the end didn't make me happy. Again, this has nothing to do with everyone here has gone out of their way to make me feel comfortable, and no one is at fault for this, but I just cannot. I've changed my mind, which is something that I had to learn, because if I never would have done it, then I would have spent probably the rest of my life saying, oh man, what could have been if I would have tried. And now I know that I need to put other things into perspective. I need to put my education back into perspective, because taking a break, some people think that after high school or after college you take a year off and it's fantastic. I took some time off and I'm like bored out of my mind. So I'm not even sure that taking time off really helps, unless I would have done something else where maybe I would, I don't know, be exploring other places and doing a different type of traveling for fun more than under obligation. Don't get me wrong, traveling for soccer is fun, but sometimes it is just very tiring and it's not as much fun, because there's an objective and you have to concentrate on something. It's not like you're traveling just to see where you're going. Just like when we went to Glasgow, we didn't really see much of Glasgow because we weren't there to be tourists. We were there to play a soccer game. So all these feelings have kind of mixed together for me, and I have decided that I do not want to stay in Poland anymore, and I do not want to play soccer in this fashion. I need to put soccer not as my first priority, but as my second or third, so to speak, and put some other things in front of that, which would be getting a job on a path that is a little more stable, because although playing soccer is fun and earning money doing something that is fun is great, women's soccer is not stable enough to make a living, and that is a problem for most women, all the women who play soccer, because even at the highest levels, it is still not even comparable to the amount of money that men make. So, all in all, at this moment, I am thinking of going back to some stabler grounds, which at this moment would be in Croatia, getting a job or an internship in the field of media and public relations, which I studied, and then afterwards, getting some work experience in that path so I can move my way along to a stable career which I can make a living off of later, and then incorporating soccer. And I think that would be a much better balance for me, right? Especially at this age. I think that it is not a bad time to be thinking about something like that. So that is pretty much the direction that I'm going in and how I got to it. And I hope that if anyone else finds themselves in maybe a position similar at this age where you're finishing school and leaving, going off to places, trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, just a word of advice, look for balance. Make sure that you have a good balance, because doing one thing it could lead you to where I am now, where you lose motivation for that because you have nothing else to balance it out. All right, later.